All right, y'all, I get this question all the time. Why in the world do you flip the inequality when you multiply by a negative? And why don't you flip it when you divide it by a positive or multiply by a positive? So let's go ahead and we're going to take a peek at that. So let's look at 3 is less than 7. Okay, let's just multiply by a positive real quick. I'm going to multiply by a positive real quick. I'm going to say, okay, let's multiply 3 by 2. And in algebra, we always learn that if you do something to one side of the equation, to keep everything balanced, you got to do it to the other side of the equation. So let's do that. Okay, let's multiply by 2 as well. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 is less than 14. Is that a true statement? By God, it is a true statement. And let's just try another one. Let's go to the next one. Let's say, okay, well, let's just experiment. Let's say I multiplied this side by 4, positive number, and I multiplied this one by 4. Well, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Is less than 1 times 4 is 4. Negative 8 is definitely less than 4. That is so unbelievably true. Now let's just experiment again one more time. Let's say I multiplied by this one by like 5. I multiply by the positive 5, and I do this. 5 times negative 8 is negative 40. Is less than negative 4 times 5, which is negative 20. Well, is negative 40 less than negative 20? Yeah, it is. Okay, so each time we multiplied by positive, everything stayed exactly the same because we had true statements. These are all true statements. True. These were true. And this is true. All right, but let's go ahead and flip it up. Let's go ahead and let's go the opposite direction now. Let's say we do multiply by a negative. So I'm going to pick the easiest negative to multiply by. I'm going to pick negative 1. So let's multiply this by negative 1. And let's multiply this by negative 1. Once again, what you do to one side, you're going to do to the other. We got to keep everything balanced. So negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. And is negative 3 less than negative 7? No, this is false. This is completely and utterly false. The only way I could make this true, to make it true, what do I have to do? I have to say negative 3 is greater than negative 7. Notice what happened. We flipped in order for that to occur. Well, let's check it out. Does it work every single time? Well, let's check it out. Let's multiply by negative 1 here. We'll do that over here, negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 2 is a positive 2. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Okay, and if we follow it, we say 2 is less than negative 1. Guess what? This is now false. We know that 2 is not less than negative 1. It's greater than. So it's 2 is greater than negative 1. Well, guess what had to happen? Guess what had to happen? We had to flip to make a true statement. Okay. So as you can see, when we multiply by positive numbers, it keeps the statement true. When we multiply by a negative on both sides, it's going to make our statement false. So we end up having to flip the inequality. So there it is. If you multiply by a negative on both sides, we have to flip the inequality. Hope that helps you understand and see why that occurs